Happy Wednesday, dear friends. And what a blessing it is to be with you this morning and think upon the hymn, Great is Thy Faithfulness. It's such a perfect hymn for this time of year, as we will discover in the verses. But the text upon which this hymn is based out of Scripture is from the book of Lamentations in the Old Testament, specifically chapter 3, verses 22 and 23. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. We sang this hymn this past weekend in online worship, which we all attended because Hurricane Delta was coming through our region and brought lots of rain and kept us for the first time from being together at our drive-in worship. But still, when I sang that hymn, as Jake and I attended online worship together, it was such a blessing. And I've asked Robert to pull that hymn from this past week to put at the end of this segment for all of us to sing with. And I so appreciate him including that beautiful vintage video of Smith Mountain Lake for us to gaze upon as we sing it. But I love this hymn being sung in the autumn time of the year because in the first verse, Great is thy faithfulness, O God my Father, there is no shadow of turning with thee. Thou changest not, thy compassions they fail not. As thou hast been, thou forever wilt be. And I love this hymn. I often think on this hymn in the autumn time of the year as you watch actually the leaves change and we experience this season where things are changing color and they're falling off. The leaves are falling off the trees and we're entering into the winter time of the year. And even as the beauty of that scene lies before us, it's wonderful to know that even in those changes, God never changes. And as that scripture says, his mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. The author of this hymn, Thomas Obadiah Chisholm, was born in a log cabin in Kentucky. At the age of 16, he began teaching school despite the paucity of his own education. He came to Christ at the age of 27 under the ministry of evangelist H.C. Morrison. But Chisholm's health was unstable, and he alternated between bouts of illness and gainful employment in which he did everything from journalism, insurance, and evangelistic work. Through all the ups and downs, he discovered new blessings from God every morning. The 3rd chapter of Lamentations became precious to him, and those are the verses that I read. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Thomas later admitted there was no dramatic story behind the writing of Great is Thy Faithfulness. While serving the Lord in Vineland, New Jersey, Thomas sent several poems to his friend, musician William Runyon, who was so moved by this one that he prayed earnestly for special guidance in composing the music. Runyon was in Baldwin, Kansas at the time, and the hymn was published in 1923 in Runyon's private song pamphlets. It went rather slowly for several years, Thomas Obadiah Chisholm recalled. Then Dr. Will Houghton of the Moody Bible Institute of Chicago discovered the hymn and would say in chapel, "Well, I think we shall have to sing, 'Great is thy faithfulness.'" It became an official theme song for the Institute, and when Houghton died, it was sung at his funeral. Still, it remained relatively unknown until popularized around the world by George Beverly Shea and the choirs in the Billy Graham Crusades. Thomas Obadiah Chisholm spent his retirement years in a Methodist home for the aged in Ocean Park, New Jersey, where he was frequently seen walking by the ocean and along town streets. Tom Rich, a resident of Ocean Park, recalls his pleasant demeanor as he dropped by the diner, sat on the park benches, and fellowshipped with friends at Ocean Park's summer Bible conferences. That's Little Bear. He always loves to come and sing or say hello. Thomas died in Ocean Park in 1960. During his lifetime, he wrote 1,200 poems and hymns. In addition to Great is Thy Faithfulness, he is the author also of the well-known Oh, to Be Like Thee and the hymn Living for Jesus. So folks, join Jake and me now in singing this wonderful hymn. And I ask for the blessings of God to be with you this week until we are together again.